What is going on, guys? I am Egg, and I'm doing a snapshot review because I could not help it when I saw those. And those are bees. And you know how I am about bees. Bees, it's literally my profile picture. All right? So, I'm going to be going over a few things about these bees, and then I will go to their natural habitat and we will see how they interact with the world and how they interact with the player. So let's hop straight into Snapshot 19w34a. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to cover are the actual bees itself. And as you can see, if we walk in here, I tried to replicate it. It's not a good kind of like representation. They spawn on the bottom of trees, and we're gonna go find a tree later and see what they actually look like. But there's gonna be beehives, and if we spawn a couple bees, you'll notice that they actually have stingers, and I just found out a cool feature about those stingers. So they have two ways that they will get mad at you: if you punch them, and if you break their beehive or their bee nest, or whatever you want to call it. If I punch one of these, they turn upside down and they sting me. But look at that. Their stinger goes away. They lose their stinger when they sting you, so they can't hurt you anymore. Which I find very cool and such a cool little detail because and then they die. They die because bees die when they sting you. That kind of made me sad. I'm going to be completely honest and say I didn't know that. And now I'm sad. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to cover about the bees is the other way they attack you. If you break their beehive, they get very angry, and I'm kind of sad that I'm going to make them sting me because I don't want to see all these guys die. But maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to kill me, and then I'll feel better. They're not going to be able to. They all lost their stingers. They all stung me. But yeah, that's the other way they get angry at you. So you don't want to just walk up to a bee nest and break it, just like in real life. That's always not a good idea. Alright, after being stung many, many times, we're going to go over to something that's not so painful. And that is the craftable beehive. And you're going to craft this by 6 oak planks and 3 honeycomb. And the way to get honeycomb is using shears on a full beehive, which looks like that when there's actually honey in it. And I'm gonna get over to I'm gonna go over how they actually fill up later. But you use shears on the beehive, and you get honeycomb. Or you can use a glass bottle, and you can get a honey bottle. And the honey bottle will heal 3 hunger bars. I know that was a lot. Just stick with me on this. We're gonna go over to that beehive and try it out. So if we take the bottle, if all these bees would move, we get the honey bottle. And they get mad at you. Alright, they get mad at you. Alright, that's a good thing to know. If you take their honey, they get mad. But it only seems like 2 got mad. That's really weird. Alright, anyways, I'm going to quickly drop down 3 hunger bars, or 4 so I can show you that it actually does 3. Boom. 3 hunger bars. Now, I will wait until one of the honey things is full so I can show you the shears. Another thing I should probably mention is that bees will actually go to flowers and pick up pollen to bring it back to the beehive. That is how they fill up the beehive and bee nest, or their names are confusing because I feel like they should be reversed. But anyways, they will sit on top of flowers like this guy right here and pick up pollen if he freaking... Alright, well, all these guys have pollen on their butts, so you can physically see it, and they drop little particles off, and then they will fly back to their beehive and put it in, and they themselves will actually go inside the beehive. So I'm going to try to represent this real quick. I want them to get some pollen. There we go. You see? if they stop pushing each other out of the way. Any second now. Alright, there it is. They just went inside their beehive because they got pollen and immediately went back into this beehive. So later they will pop back out. I'm not sure the exact time it takes, but they will pop back out with no pollen on them to come get more. See, that guy just disappeared. He went inside the beehive. And you can hear the sound of them like going in and out of the beehive and bee nest. And you can only have a certain amount of bees in the beehive at a single time. So you can't just have one beehive and 100 bees, exactly like this room right here. That's why I put multiple. Now, let's go over breeding the bees. To breed a bee, it's simple. Flowers, like any other thing, and then they give this beautiful, adorable little baby bee. And the baby bees can still sting you, and they will die when they sting you. Now, you can actually use other flowers. It doesn't have to be just poppies. You can use any other normal flower because it just works like that. And as you can see, I only had 4 bees spawned in. The other bees that came out of the nest and are coming back to get more pollen so they can head back in. These are such a cool mob. God, I love bees. Alright, so this beehive over here is actually full from earlier when I had a bunch of bees in here. So if we go in here and we use the shears on it, it gives you 3 honeycombs, which is a pretty good amount, especially because you can use 3 honeycombs to make the beehive. I find that pretty dandy. Alright, now we're going to go on to a different world and try to find some beehives and see how they like interact with each other in their natural habitat. Alright, so we got some beehives over here. We got 1, 2, and then 3. So that they're pretty common. I mean, that's a lot of beehives in one little area. But when I was searching the rest of the forest, I couldn't find a lot of other beehives. And I think it has to do with these flowers. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. So I guess beehives only spawn where there is a plentiful source of flowers, because bees go to flowers and they like it, you know? So let's watch a bee. Do you have pollen on you? This guy does not have pollen on him, so he's going to make his way to a flower eventually. We're going to stalk him. Come on. Look at all those flowers. There we go. Alright, so he's gonna stand on top of a flower, and eventually he will have pollen all over his butt. Oh, there it is. And now he will make his way back to the nearest beehive, or his own beehive, which I don't think I'm going to be able to catch him flying back to it because it takes them a while. Actually, he might do it right here. Or not. You know, they don't seem very smart. Oh, I actually caught it. You just saw it? He went into his beehive. He had pollen on his butt. That bees. Bees. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like bees. Alright? I'm so excited to see what else they're bringing to this update, because this is the only thing the Snapshot brings so far, and I am not complaining. I genuinely love this. It brings so many cool ideas, like making bee farms, having your own little like bee house, and just farming honey, and I love that idea. I am one with the bees. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment how you feel about the update. Anyways, I am gonna go make breakfast. See ya.